Do you like debugging somebody else's work? That's what we're going to do in this video here for freeCodeCamp. My name's Rob. I'm with PreCodeCamp, and if you're new to this channel, this is what I do. I'm a coding instructor where I'm going to go through a few of the freeCodeCamp modules, and I'm coming at it from the approach from an instructor's point of view. So if you're looking to learn and also gain some solution, then this is the video to watch. We're going to be diving right into their modules that they just released, I guess, according to the time of this video, because I haven't seen it before, and I thought I might as well cover this in a video since I'm trying to do a lot of their modules anyway. So anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the problem itself. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. This is what they're giving us. And if you haven't already, if you could do us a real quick favor of hitting the like button on this video, it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. All right, but we are given some broken code. The broken code is right over here. So we can see it with a few things that kind of stand out is the heading, maybe the couple P's that are on here. And again, as we're learning, as we're growing, you may not see it as quickly, but we have some user stories to go through that will help us along the way to make sure that when we run these tests here, that we will get them ran and it's going to check a few things. And it looks like it's checking a laundry list of things all the way down here to number 11. So anyways, it tells us that our job is to fix Camperbots errors. And you as a developer, future developer, you're going to be doing code reviews. You're going to be looking, not only looking at your own code, but looking at other people's code. And they may come get you and say, hey, this is breaking. What are your thoughts? That's what we're doing here. And I always joke with the classroom of, you guys see enough bugs in your own code, and now I'm giving you some to look at, kind of thing. And it's funny the way that it looks at this. But, and other things that kind of stick out to me just by looking at this without even the user stories is we know from best practice that the H1s, we should only have one per page based upon documentation and what freeCodeCamp has told you in previous modules. So it says your job is to fix all of Camperbots errors so that way you can continue to build their profile page. Go ahead and complete the items and their user stories below, run the test to see if you fixed all the errors. All right. So the way that I run these videos are I'm going to go through the user stories first. They're all going to be chaptered out down below. And then at the very end, we're going to run the test. Now, nothing's stopping you from running the test after each one of these items that we do. And you'll be able to see what are the errors or did I fix those errors right away. But I usually wait until the end. And then if I have any left over, I will come back to it. So the very first one here, that's what we're going to go over first. All right, so it says on here for the very first user story that Camperbot is not following the best practices and has multiple H1s on the page. And so, again, if you remember from previous lessons, hey, only one H1 needs to be on there at any given time, and you probably need to step down if you're going to keep that element. But it looks like here it's having us remove that H1. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. All right, that should satisfy us for user story number 1. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So user story number 2 of the Debug Camperbots profile page, it tells us that it is trying to utilize a heading 2 element, but that element really doesn't exist in the HTML. So notice that we're getting some funky stuff over here on the right-hand side, and it's smashed together. And again, we have several other issues along the way here, but the heading 2, what it's looking for here is an H2. So what we can do is we can just remove the middle part of it and just make it display H2. And things that I'm looking at also is, do we have an opening tag and a closing tag? And on the H2 here, there's the opening, there's the closing. They're paired, they're matched. We should be good to go for user story number 2. With user story number 3 of Debugging Camperbots profile page, it tells us that it's trying to add some paragraphs, but it's using the wrong element. Let's go ahead and fix those errors, but also correct any HTML element for the paragraphs. And what we're looking at here is double P's that we see here, we see it here, we see it down here also. So all these we're going to need to fix. But the thing that we're going to have to look for, because I see it a lot in students code, also in the freeCodeCamp forum, is that it's all about the opening and closing tags as well. So not only am I going to adjust these paragraph tags, but I'm also going to do a real quick check saying, all right, do I have a closing tag on you? And it looks like I don't. So let's go ahead and close those off while I'm working on it. Line 5 should be good to go. Next is the same thing. We got the double P's. So we have those double P's here, and I'm going to go ahead and delete one of them. And then same thing like up above, it's missing the closing tag and we should be good to go with user story number 3. User story number 4 with Debug Camperbots profile page. It says that Camperbots using that H3 element for the background and entrance that we see right here. It says that with that subheading, there might be some sort of syntax error. So do we spot the issue? And I tell you, I would have to have some words with Camperbot here, because Camperbot is consistently missing the closing tags on these, because if we look at the H3 right here, it is missing the closing tag. That should be the fix for user story number 4. Let's go ahead and run these tests real quick. I may have missed something. I may have not. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go and run the test. There we go. We've got the confetti. Perfect. All right, so we're done with that module. We're done with Camperbot's issue of forgetting to put that closing tag on there. Hopefully this one didn't give you too much trouble, and you're always going to be debugging code. Okay, so if this one gave you a little bit of a struggle, just know that sometimes it does get easier, but once your code gets more complex, it gets harder. One of the advice that I would love to give you all is, as you're coding things out and you are going to be spotting errors on your own code, fix them right there, because there's no point of continuing on with the code when you are coding with flawed code or a mistake. It becomes very important when you get into JavaScript and things like that. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a, if it helped you, great. Put it in the comments. We love reading them and responding to each and every one of you. We'll see you in the next video. Until next time.